Welcome to InFocus Town Talk. I'm pleased to be joined by Amy MacNab, who is the chair of the Duxbury Select Board. Welcome, Amy. Let's get right into Town Hall is open again, correct? People can just walk in?
It is. Town Hall did remain open, but not open to the public. So the difference is now you can go in without an appointment and do your business as you used to be able to.
Okay, great. Let's talk about July 4th parade, which is going to be on July 3rd this year.
A little bit different, but we're excited and pleased to be able to have a parade, kind of get back to some kind of normalcy. I think we're all ready for a celebration. The difference is that it will be on Saturday, July 3rd, and starting at noon time instead of the typical 2 p.m. start. So it will start at 12 o'clock noon at Hall's Corner and continue down the normal route, which is Washington Street, and will end at the school. So we're very excited that that is a tradition that will once again be held in Duxbury.
And it's an approximate 2-mile long stretch. Now, if people want to be in the parade, what's the process of being part of it where you didn't have it last year, to just refresh memories?
So they can go on the town website, and there's contact information for the parade committee members, or they can call town hall and get that information, but they just need to reach out to one of the committee members and they will give you all the information that you need to enter a float or march in the band if that's what you choose. So that's where you can get that information.
Okay, great, wonderful. The select board in Duxbury has expanded to 5 members, where it used to be 3. Can you talk about how different that is, what difference it makes for the town?
I think it's. I was a proponent of the change. I advocated for it. I think it is more representative of the town as a whole, and I think it's working really well. We're really lucky to have 5 board members that have a lot of energy. They are, they come at this job from different areas of expertise and have different passions, and collectively, we're very motivated and really want to take a proactive approach to some of the really challenging issues that are facing our town. And I think we've demonstrated that in the few weeks that we've been a 5-member board, and I think that will only continue. So I think it's working out really, really well.
Right, and it puts you in line with all the other towns. I mean, I don't think there's a town that I know of that doesn't have at least 5 members anymore, so that's great. Can you talk about your takeaways from your recent town meeting? It was very efficient. You got a lot done in a short amount of time. What were some of the big things that happened? And especially I'd like to talk about the $900,000 to lease the Duxbury Beach, because a lot of people aren't quite sure of, if you hadn't done that, what would have happened.
Yeah, so the takeaways for me, I'm always, the membership, the people that came out on that day was few. I think it was probably one of the least attended town meetings. But we were at the tail end of a pandemic, and I think we could take instead of thinking, oh boy, people aren't interested, I think that that may not be the fact. I think that with Zoom and with the amount of preparation that went into this town meeting, people were educated as to what the articles were, what the position of the town was on those articles. And I hope that it was that amount of information and participation and Zoom meetings and the ability for the public to really understand what was on the table that in fact led to very little controversy on any of the articles. As anyone in town knows, I was often the person up at the microphone asking the questions. And for me, I participated this year in all of the finance committee meetings leading up to town meetings. So I was very comfortable with what was being proposed and what the articles were. And I have a totally new appreciation for the work and the in-depth analysis that the finance committee does with our budget. So I think all of those things led to a very efficient, a very quick, really not very controversial town meeting.
Right.
I hope to continue that really participatory collaboration between the select board and the finance committee when it comes to looking at the town meeting and the budget and the articles. So hopefully this is a trend in that direction.
Right, and you know, there's a lot of people that, and you're so right, and your point about being really appreciating how much work goes into the committees. They don't do anything in the dark. I mean, all the meetings are public, and if you keep up with what's going on, and I think that was your point during the year, you can get a feel for, well, yeah, I agree with the whole philosophy behind why my select board and why my finance committee is coming to these conclusions. And that might very well have been a reason why you didn't have as many people attend the meeting, because they already knew, okay, this is the popular stance, this is what the town has decided, and it makes sense to all of us too. That's a really good point. Can you just talk about the $900,000 to lease the Duxbury Beach for another year? What does that mean? And if you hadn't approved that, what would have that meant?
So the beach lease has historically crept up each year about $50,000, or exactly $50,000. And I think a lot of folks are concerned about that. I'm always concerned about the money that the taxpayers are being asked to spend. So that's being watched. And at the same time, though, it's incredibly important to understand, first of all, the beach brings in revenue. So it is a revenue generator. The town does make money from the beach, but that is a part of it. I think very importantly, the residents value the beach. They moved to town for a couple of reasons. I mean, I think there's three really big reasons. I think it's the beach, the schools, and our really long efforts of protecting our open space and our rural and historical character. So I think that it is incredibly important to keep the beach available for the residents. And that would have been the downside of not renewing the lease. I think, had we not renewed the lease, as it was suggested at town meeting, that the beach would not or might not be available to the residents. And again, that's a big reason why people want to live in this town. It's a beautiful beach, and we need to preserve it, protect it, and take care of it.
Yeah, absolutely. And every year we talk about those lovely piping plovers. So what are the plovers up to this year, and how will that affect people's usage of the beach?
Well, unfortunately, the piping plovers are many. I mean, fortunately, I should say. I mean, they are a protected species. We do a really good job, apparently, of having a place that they love to be. And what does that mean? Well, it means that they want to nest on our beach, and that makes our access to the beach limited. So apparently there's over 30, there were over 30 pairs, nests of plovers. Over the past weekend, we had some high tides and weather that unfortunately wiped out, I think, around 15 nests. And what that means, you might think, oh, okay, well, maybe the beach will be open more because there's 15 less nests. Well, it doesn't work that way. Apparently, they will build new nests in the same areas and unfortunately extend the timeout where the beach will need to be closed to protect those new nests until the birds can fledge. So it's my understanding that currently the first and second crossovers are open, but that the second crossover is due to or anticipated to close on Friday, June 11th, and the first crossover shortly thereafter on Friday, June 18th. So, you know, that's subject to change, but that is what is expected to be the future of the beach. And just to remind everybody that as of at the end of May, the nighttime access to the beach is the beach is closed at 8. So, you know, we'll get through the plover season, and hopefully all will get back to the beach being open
For people.
More for the public.
People and plovers, but people. Okay. And lastly, we're all very happy that we're in such a position that none of our towns are in the red or even in the yellow. We're all in the green at this point. Have you noticed any change in the town over the last week where masks are no longer required? A lot of people have been vaccinated. Any messages that you want to send out there to the residents?
I think it's a time to be joyful and kind of reflect on where we've been and where we've come, and kind of, you know, some takeaways. Let's use some of the lessons that we learned during COVID, and you know, use those lessons well in the future. In other words, you know, let's think about maybe having meetings more available to residents through not just an open meeting where you can go in person, but you know, hybrid on Zoom or phone access or other ways to, you know, stay in touch. Masks, yes, while they're still while they are certainly a choice at this point, you know, there are times where maybe you feel comfortable wearing a mask into town hall or the grocery store. So, you know, I think that we all can use our best judgment, but you know, it's been a tough year, and you know, as a community, I think, you know, we weathered this storm, and you know, I think we should learn from it.
Absolutely. Okay, and if residents have any questions or any comments or any suggestions for the select board, how would they best get that information or those questions to you?
I am always available. The town hall can give out my telephone number, my home number. I'm happy to receive emails. Nancy O'Connor at the town hall is excellent at getting messages to us. And if you'd want to call from one of the select board members, I'm still stumbling on that. It's our new name. We're happy to call. So we work for the residents, and we are accessible and responsive.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Amy. It was wonderful to have you, and have a wonderful summer. If we don't see you before July or August, we'll talk to you then. Thanks again for joining us today.
Thank you, Julie, and thank PACTV for all the help during the last year. You guys have been incredibly helpful during this time. Thank you.